Army Specialist Glendon Oakley, a legal gun owner, stepped in during the mass shooting at the El Paso, Texas Walmart and saved the lives of kids. The hero was at the mall when the shooting occurred and managed to bring many children to safety, as he explained to CNN. Rush transcript: Oakley, Iwas in a sports store and a little kid runs in there and says there is an active shooter at Walmart, but me and the guy didn't pay him no mind because he's a little kid, and I walked out and I go to Foot Locker and all I hear is pop, pop, and all I know is think my gun to think past, and the Foot Locker closed the cage and some people lifted it and they got so scared and they wanted to get out. I seen a whole bunch of kids running out without their parents and I picked up as many as I could, and another guy did as well. I'm sorry, I'm shaking. I can't think. And I just peeled out and I just hope the kids make it safe, man, because there were a whole bunch of kids without the parents and I was more worried about the kids than myself. I'm in the military, and it feels different for me because we're trained to, when you hear gunshots and pull out your weapon and think fast. I really wasn't worried about myself. I just picked up the kids and carried them with me, and the other guy did, and we made it through Dillard's. I really wasn't worried about myself. Reporter: what did you think about, what ran through your mind when you heard shots? Oakley: I'm in the military. It's a feeling that you can't explain, you know what I'm saying? You hard is, all you think is pull out your weapon and think fast. Reporter: where were the kids, Oakley? They were running around crying. Just running around, and all I could think about was the kids. I think about it, if my child, if I had one, what I would want someone else to do, and I picked them up and the other guy did as well. I couldn't go backhand, I tried my best, me and the other guy tried to get as many out as possible, and that's all that was. I couldn't really do nothing. Original story. Texas State Representative Cesar Blanco said to CNN that the number of dead in the Walmart shooting in El Paso, Texas was going to be north of 19. Representative Blanco: you say 19 people have been shot. That doesn't necessarily mean they've been killed, is that right? CNN host Wolf Blitzer said. No. However, I am receiving reports from our Level 1 Trauma Center that they are receiving numerous patients coming in with injuries from the location. So my concern is that it's going to be north of that number, he said. El Paso police spokesman Enrique Carrillo said that there were more than 20 casualties of the shooting when he spoke to reporters. From Reuters: multiple people were killed in a shooting at a Walmart in El Paso, Texas on Saturday, and one man was in custody after the latest U.S. mass shooting sent panicked shoppers fleeing. Many of those caught up in the rampage were buying back-to-school supplies. El Paso Police Sergeant Robert Gomez said authorities had ruled out multiple shooters, and he said initial reports were that the gunman used a rifle. This thing is fluid and dynamic. As of right now, we don't think there's multiple suspects, but that could change, Gomez told reporters at the scene. El Paso Mayor DeMargo said there were multiple fatalities. Amid conflicting reports immediately after the shooting, he had earlier said 3 people were arrested. This is just a tragedy that I'm having a hard time getting my arms around, Margo told CNN. The El Paso Police Department said the scene remained active around the Chela Vista Mall, near the Walmart, but said there was no imminent threat to the public. There's no active shooter currently, but that isn't to say we've rendered the scene safe at this time, another El Paso police spokesman, Enrique Carrillo, told reporters. Carrillo said there were more than 20 casualties, a number that could include fatalities and people wounded. Walmart said in a statement, "We're in shock over the tragic events at Chela Vista Mall. We're praying for the victims, the community and our associates, as well as the first responders." Carrillo asked people who cannot reach loved ones to go to a family reunification center at a local middle school, instead of heading to the shopping center. Multiple law enforcement agencies raced to the scene, including police, state troopers, Homeland Security agents and Border Patrol. One witness said he saw at least one person inside the store with a fatal head wound, and he saw shoppers in bloodied clothes. Other stores at the nearby mall were also locked down as police officers cleared the shopping center in the east of the city, which lies on the southern U.S. border with Mexico. Video posted on Twitter showed customers at one department store being evacuated with their hands up. Hands in the air. An officer can be heard shouting in the footage. Mass shootings are common in the United States. On Sunday, a teenage gunman opened fire with an assault-style rifle on the crowd at a food festival in Northern California, killing 3 people before fatally shooting himself. The White House said President Donald Trump had been briefed on the shooting and was monitoring the situation. At a Democratic presidential candidate forum in Las Vegas, a clearly emotional Beto O'Rourke, a former Texas congressman who is from El Paso, broke the news to the audience that he had just heard about the deadly mass shooting in his home city. O'Rourke said he had spoken to his wife Amy, who was driving in the city with one of their children. Addressing reporters, he teared up and struggled to deliver a short statement. "I am incredibly saddened and it's very hard to think about this," he said. "El Paso is the strongest place in the world. This community is going to come together. I'm going back there right now to be with my family, to be with my hometown."